Hi guys, and welcome to your Sons of Cain YouTube channel. We've just come back from Derby with the Institute of Martial Arts and Science, and we had a fantastic weekend with some really great instructors. This next bit of footage is from the IMAS lecture that we attended. It is Chaz Spring and Dave Lee, and they go through what is breaking down barriers. Click subscribe for new videos Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We came together due to I contacted a group called Disability Martial Arts Association, and Dave was the president. Try to find out about the Breaking Down Barriers events that had been happening a few years before, that had been run by, I'm going to have to look at you because I've got his name's just skipped out of my head, Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor, thank you sir, I knew it was Terry, I'm trying to remember his surname. Terry Taylor had run these events. Anyway, I contacted him, he got back in touch with me because I wanted to run a Breaking Down Barriers event up in Buxton to help sort of promote and launch the idea of inclusivity within martial arts as part of the degree programme that I was running at the time. And Davey came back to me and said, unfortunately Terry Taylor's died, I've now decided I'm going to try and do this. So I actually said to Dave, well, do you want to run a Breaking Down Barriers event at Buxton? So we did one in Buxton, and I didn't realise, I think it was the first one, wasn't it?
It was,
yeah. So it was the first one that we did. I didn't realise that at the time. I actually thought that Dave had been running them for a while, but we actually invited a whole load of school kids in with all different abilities, whole range of abilities, and we got them engaging with martial arts with the idea that we would sort of try and show them what they can do rather than constantly thinking about what they can't do. And since then we've run quite a few of these events. I've written delivered papers on this in an academic manner because we've managed to put together some of the information and get some of the details and the statistics behind what we've done and look at how we've actually helped change people's lives and perspectives on what they're capable of. I've had a girl who I've ended up training at one point, and she was like really disruptive at school until she got really focused into her martial arts. Once she got focused in that, realised where she could go. I can see someone smiling, thinking who that might be. I might know that person. But, you know, there's various different ways that people can actually use martial arts to change the way they are. What I'm going to just quickly do is show you a video, or part of the video. I won't show you all of it, it's quite long, but it sort of encapsulates the focus on some of the things that we've tried to do. Okay, so one of the things that we've been, obviously we talked about today was about inclusivity, and you know, Kevin here is one of the Breaking Down Barriers ambassadors as well, working with Cain and what have you. And obviously was looking for partners earlier, and found that kind of challenging because obviously, you know, you guys aren't aware that he's looking for someone to train with, but he was hovering around the edge of the mat, and I think Jacob eventually picked up that he was looking for someone to train with. And the thing is, sometimes we don't see necessarily things that are right in front of our eyes, that someone, you know, might, you know, they might be in a wheelchair, might not, you might think, well, actually they're not going to be able to come on the mat and what have you, but obviously the idea of breaking down barriers is to prove that that's the other way, that people can actually get included all the time, or in as many ways as you possibly can anyway. There's obviously things that sometimes people cannot physically do, or cannot, you know, get round to doing, but when we've done demonstrations before, I've thrown Dave over, tipped him over out the wheelchair to show that he can do groundwork. We've done a whole range of different demos, and we'll be doing one in a little bit with Cane Jitsu, but as well as or Cane Masters, sorry, I should say, give it a different name. And you'll be able to then see what kind of things are possible to do. Just hand over to Dave to talk a bit more about breaking down barriers.
Breaking Down Barriers started about 25 years ago, and we've kept it going ever since. When Terry Taylor died in 2006, nobody knew what to do. They decided, oh, we'll stop now, won't go any further. But I phoned everybody up and said, look, we can't stop this from going. We've got to keep it going. So we have. And we'll continue to keep going with it. The thing is with the wheelchair, as my colleague there in a wheelchair, is a fact of knowing the difference between the two of us. Now, I'm confined to a wheelchair. Well, I can get out of the wheelchair and sit in a normal chair, but I can't walk. I'm paralysed from the waist down. As with Kev, he's different altogether. He's not a permanent wheelchair user. As people don't understand, you've got all different types of people in wheelchairs, different disabilities. You can be paralysed from the waist down, chest down, or the neck down. There's all different things. And then you've got people who are blind, visually impaired, Down syndrome, every type of disability you can think of. Everybody knows they are there, but a lot of people don't help. They just see us, we're in wheelchairs, and that is it. There's a lot more to it than just being in a wheelchair. It's what we can teach other people to help others. The thing is with us, we love helping children and adults with disabilities. You know, it's easy for everybody else to go to anywhere they want to go. But then we come across, where do we go to train? Where do we go to teach? And they find us that we can't do that because of steps. I've crawled up 4 flights of stairs. I've been carried up. My friend at the back, Chris, another ambassador for Breaking Down Barriers, carried me upstairs with my caster wheel in his groin, up 3 flights of stairs.
It's tough, is Chris?
Yeah. But when we was coming down from the stairs, nobody wanted to help us. They all just went, oh, we got to go now. And they just all went up the door. And left Chris and me at the top of the stairs. Eventually, they did somebody come and help us. But everybody else said, oh, I've got a bad back, can't help you. So we didn't go again. We go to loads of events. I love going to the events. And there's one gentleman or 2 gentlemen over there that I've been to lots of the events with them. Fantastic events they do. Kudasai. If you ever get to Kudasai, these are gentlemen that will be at Kudasai. Fantastic organisation, just like us. They don't see the disability. None of them do. You go to their event, let's see you doing this, and they teach you. Never said to me once, in all the time, I've known it was 2006, sir? Yeah. 2006 was the very first event I went to, and treated me like everybody else. That's what you've got to do with everybody, is treat them as you want to be treated yourself. There's nothing different, only because I can't walk. That's the only difference between me. Kevin can walk.
And then we've got, when we actually then look at what we've tried to sort of involve over the last few years in terms of breaking down barriers, and what, also with the Disability Martial Arts Association, we've been trying to raise awareness of the variety of different ways to perceive different people's abilities, because there isn't just, nobody fits into just neatly this or this. There is a whole range of different spectrum. Like Dave said, I went and did a session for, I'm just trying to, Look, they were called. Look, as in, vision. They're now part of the Royal Association for the Blind. But they were originally a separate organisation. They used to have summer camps. And they invited me down to run sessions for them. And there, you've got people that maybe can see a bit or can't see very well. They've got different levels of visual ability, but also then that can be often coupled with another thing as well. And it's like with people with, might be a wheelchair user, but there might be another thing that's as well that you've got to take into account. And when you try, people find it too hard to try and deal with, oh, how am I going to adapt everything for this, that and the other? Well, it isn't about that. It's actually just for saying, well, what are you able to do? What are you actually capable of doing? And then, right, let's do this, let's do that, rather than just spend your time trying to trawl through all the different things that can be perceived as barriers. That's what we've discovered over the years, I would say. Yeah. Okay. So what I want to move along to is we're going to have a bit of a demonstration on the mat rather than actually participants. But is there going to be a participatory part in this at all, guys? Is there going to be opportunity for participation? Yeah. Yeah. So there is going to be. Because originally I did put demonstration, and then I've been told at lunch that there might be a participation part as well. So we're going to move on to that. But if anybody wants to ask any questions, anybody who's interested in actually hosting a Breaking Down Barriers, we're always interested in looking for that as well. We've done them down south. We've done them in Derby. We did one at the deaf school in Derby recently. We've done them up at Buxton. So we're always looking for people that are interested in hosting or being involved or helping promote a Breaking Down Barriers event. We don't charge anything for what we do. Everything we've ever done has always been voluntary, working around the area of break even at the most. In fact, some of our events have cost us money, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
So, yeah, but we neither of us are like it's not about it's. We're not, as Breaking Down Barriers, we're not a registered charity, but the Disability Martial Arts Association is a registered charity. So we try and involve people in all those sorts of things. But also, like I say, where this comes into in the area of theory and practice is about being aware, being actually looking behind things. If someone comes along, I've actually heard stories recently of someone who got turned away at a club because they got told they would not be able to do anything. We won't be able to do anything with you. And they then contacted me, and I was able to put them in touch with someone else through a list that we actually keep of instructors that will help people. They got in touch with me through the university, actually, having seen an article that had been written in one of the newspapers about breaking down barriers, actually. So they got in touch with me, but they'd been turned away from a club. Oh, you won't be able to do anything. There's another gentleman I know called L. Davison who tested this out. He went round all the clubs in his area. He's a wheelchair user. He went round all the clubs in his area to see who might actually allow him to train. One club in the whole area was willing to give him the time to train. So, that's something I think just for us all to think about and take on board. Okay, so if we could clear the map now, and then we'll get on with you guys.
Right guys, we hope you enjoyed this video. As usual, any comments, stick them down below.
Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Leave us your comments. As usual, guys, anything you want to see or you've got something to show us, pop it in the comments section. Let's collaborate. Let's get this out there. Don't forget, ring the bell, free the fear.